Hey everybody, this is James.
And this is Denny from TeaDB, bringing you guys episode 297.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
So we have some tea from W2T. It is a pressed black tea, or a red tea, as they call it in China, Hongcha. And this is the same material as the Arbor white tea, which was also a pressed white tea, which we brought on a while ago.
Yeah.
Excited to have this. The white tea, I think, is one of the most impressive white teas I've had in recent history. So, excited to give this one a shot.
Get in there.
Before we get going, though, I want to thank Oolong Owl for giving me the sample for us to try on the show. So
awesome.
Thank you to her. She has a blog, oolongowl.com.
Yeah.
In case.
Check her out. Also, in Spanish, the word owl is búho.
Búho.
Which is a really cool word. It's my favorite word. Búho.
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 Búho DP.
Definitely smells like it has like a little bit of some spiciness on it. Certainly 2 chunks here, so it's going to take a little bit of time for us to, because it looks like it's pretty hard pressed.
It does.
A little bit of time for us to let this open up. I'm going to actually not burn myself by doing that.
And because this is white tea, we know that this is not because, but it is a Yunnan black.
Yeah. It's tasty. It looks cool. It certainly smells great so far. I'm gonna let it hang out a little bit longer than I would for a big fluffy black loose leaf tea, because it just is gonna take some time to open up a little bit. So I will actually reduce the amount of time that we're spending here as this tea starts to open up.
So definitely. So how would the compression impact your brewing for something like a black tea, where you're normally brewing it loose?
Yeah, so a black tea, you want to just flash steep it even off of the boil. But a compressed cake with whatever it's going to be, but especially something that's compressed so hard like this, you do want it to, at least I find that it's a little bit useful to give it a little bit of a longer rinse, a little bit of a longer first steeping, and then you're going to judge from there if you're going to lower or keep steady the amount of time that you're spending as it opens up. And
what do you say to all the haters that say you're wasting tea as it rinses?
Subscribe.
Nice.
Got him.
You got him good.
Oh, man. So, I don't know. Anyway. Go to our website. Yeah. Send your mom to our website.
I'm actually the only hater. I have 757.
Are you subscribed?
Yeah.
I'm subscribed.
Yeah, I'm subscribed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get in here.
Yeah.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Still light.
Light for sure, but has a pretty upfront sweetness. Not too much else going on from that right now. Maybe a little bit of some spiciness to it.
It's interesting to have like such a light brew of red tea right after white tea. It's actually kind of similar. It's like not totally different from white tea.
Interestingly though, I mean, if you were to compare the two, what would you say? I mean,
a little more oxidation, a little more darkness in this.
A little bit of a rounder flavor too. Almost maybe even softer right now, because we're not quite getting into the meat of the tea yet.
Yeah.
Yum. And this is 3.7 grams. And again, we're in 2 pretty large chunks. And that's looking like it's getting color fairly quickly. Nice residual Yunnan flavors there. A little bit of the corn sweetness going on. A little bit of the spicy earthiness. It's just sort of hanging out. Very subtle. Smells like Yunnan blacks. Good color.
Yeah,
this is going to develop.
It really does. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
This is going to develop quite a bit here, but certainly leaving my palate with a nice, very familiar flavor profile.
The flavor profile would definitely pass the mom test, and I remember the white tea being particularly strong. So I'm really curious to see how this brews out once those chunks sort of come apart.
Smell that. I'm excited. Yeah, quality. All right. Onward and upward. Cheers.
Cheers.
I love black teas. I've been sticking to ripe ware recently, and I need to open up my black tea closet because
You have a black tea closet?
I have drawers.
Okay.
I have drawers, but I'm getting so overloaded that they're like, they used to have dividers and then they've like gotten compartmentalized to just, yeah.
Yeah.
This is tasty.
A full closet full of black tea. I don't think Denny's closet.
Not a closet. I have like a drawer.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep things.
Okay, so you've been moving on to you need to move on to the black tea.
Yeah. There's currently like a 7-foot closet of pu'er in front of us right now. That is
Actually, there's nothing in it.
Oh, really?
I've not put anything in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, soon. There is a fridge.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
What do you think?
It's nice. It's still light.
Yeah. But it's got all of those classic flavors, right?
Yeah. I really feel like this one, maybe similar to the last one, could just go on for a long time.
Yeah, especially because it's pressed. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm looking at Denny brewing this, and it's like the big chunks are still more or less together, and totally. I think they're about to just start to come apart.
Right.
Okay.
Color's getting a little bit more intense, but not crazy. It's not getting that deep, almost red color quite yet. Let's see a little bit better that way, maybe. And I'm going to reheat the water, although that might be a mistake. I hope not, but we'll see. We'll taste this first and then make a decision. Cheers. It's getting that velvetyness on it, and great. More of that sweet chocolatiness to it. I was smelling it, and I was just commenting before the show that it really has that sort of Nestle hot cocoa kind of smell to it. Really chocolatey and sweet smelling. And I think we're getting more into that flavor profile now. A little bit more creamy vibes.
Yeah, and I'm glad you picked up on the texture, because that was my initial reaction to this tea too. I think if I'm thinking about sort of like the common thread between white and black teas, it's like they can both sort of have like these different textures that I really, really enjoy. And that's probably like some of the top things that I enjoy about these teas.
Totally.
Okay, that looks like it's ready to brew.
Yeah, it's definitely opening up now. It's still nice and chunky. Leaves are actually really large.
Yeah.
Really perfumey aroma. Floral, a little bit. And I'm just going to leave the water as is and let it go for, well, maybe not as long even as last time. It's definitely opening up. And because it's pressed, oh yeah, look at that. It's starting to really unravel. Okay, let's get this going right now. There we go. I'm going to get back in here again. Really kind of a homogeneous looking oxidation level throughout the leaves, so you can probably assume that they're all oxidized or just processed together in the same way, not in different batches from different
and sort of blended
sources.
Together. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Really, such an amazing aroma. I mean, that in itself is such an elemental part of this tea. And then we're getting into a deeper red here. Not the darkest. I think I'll reheat the water for our next steeping. We'll see again how this tastes.
So how would you grade this black tea so far? Does it seem to be pretty above average, or?
I think it fits squarely in Yunnan black in terms of the category. And if someone's looking for something that is sort of outside of the classic elements or flavor notes of a typical category, even though this tea is excellent, it wouldn't be that tea. This tea does fit the mold well, but it's wonderful in that. So it's really good. Okay. Really well balanced. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree. And I'm curious to see, maybe it's unfair to judge it so far because I think we're just getting into the money steeps right now. But I think it definitely tastes like a black tea, and I don't know. Yeah, it's not like it's bringing something weird and crazy to the table. It's just a solid, good example of a Yunnan black.
Absolutely. I love the sweetness of it.
I think that's best steep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm gonna give it a little bit of heat.
Yeah. And if I remember back to the white tea, I remember it was just it was a really oxidized white tea,
Yeah.
which is interesting, but that's a processing difference.
Yeah.
And it had just like a lot of strength to it too. So I'm curious if this black tea sort of has that same sort of backbone to it, and it's poor material. So also paying attention to see if there's any of that deeper energy and stuff in the body.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying the persistence of the flavors. I think that it has a long finish. Some lesser quality teas kind of are like one and done. They kind of hit you and you're like, okay, cool. This I'm kind of tasting a little bit deeper in my like esophagus and upper chest and stuff.
I almost feel it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a pu'er in that sense.
And it has a boldness to it, but do you think it's astringent, or do you have any mouth puckering or anything like that?
Not yet at all. Yeah. Nothing for you.
No, but we'll see. This is going to be the steep to push that if we get it.
Yeah, we have recently boiled water, and the tea leaves, as we have been continuously stating, are pretty well unfurled now. So
totally.
We will see.
Giving it less time and matching pretty closely the saturation of the liqueur, meaning the color of the tea that's been brewed.
And how would this tea do in the Denny Ultralight Special? Would this tea be a good backpacking tea?
Is this the... Oh gosh. I don't actually know, because this tea I can imagine it would go from like light to like rocket fuel pretty quick if you were to brew it grandpa style.
Yeah.
Because of the compression. So whereas a fluffy fresh this is fresh too, but fluffier tea, look at that color getting even darker there. It might start out a little...
I guess one of the things I would be concerned about if I brought this tea camping is it just seems like it has a lot to offer. And if I were to cut this tea off now, or even a steep or two earlier, I'd just be leaving a lot at the table for this tea.
Yeah, 100%.
But maybe it would be good for a tea that you're drinking just throughout the day or something like that. So I don't know. It's probably a tea that is better suited to sort of this sort of brewing, this sort of concentrated brewing.
There's just the hint of, in the aroma at this point now, that oriental beauty, sweetness a little bit that has that Yunnan vibe in it. Really wonderful. I think maybe the most impressive part of this tea is its persistence for me. It has wonderful balance. It's not even particularly like strong in an intense way, but the flavors themselves persist for quite a bit of time.
It just seems like it's going to brew forever.
Yeah.
It's got good depth. It's not a tea where you're like, whoa, what's going on here?
Right.
It just bangs it out.
Like a very good daily drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think this will pass the mom test?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think maybe you might be losing a bit of the appreciation of it on the mom test, depending on the mom, of course. But it tastes good, and I think it's a friendly profile. So yeah, I think it would pass.
Totally. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know what steep this is.
I think it's 5 or 6. Yeah.
Something like that.
Cheers. Yeah, I think it's 6.
Sweet, a little bit chocolatey, a little bit of that corn, a little bit of that earthy spiciness.
Yeah.
Balanced, little floral after notes. Really good. It's so cozy and pleasant to drink. Yeah.
Yeah. Good wintertime tea.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does, because you brought this up earlier, how do red teas versus ripe teas sort of compare for you on seasonal drinking? You were saying that you were drinking a lot of ripe, but now it's time to bring out the black teas, right?
There's something interestingly crisp even about these flavors that typically I like drinking in warmer seasons. Nevertheless, this is really great. It's cozy, it's comfortable, it's a perfect rainy day kind of a tea, I think. So I think you could drink this any time of the year and really enjoy it.
Okay.
It's just good.
Yeah. Whereas ripes might be more just like, it's cold, it gets dark at 4:30.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of tears involved.
Help!
It tastes better when you steep it with like like tears, so you just get your family together. You're just all crying, you boil the tears together. No.
I'm going to let this one hang out for a significantly longer amount of time.
Okay.
And even though this water is not on the boil anymore at all, but we're just going to see how it fares.
Right. I'll be curious because it hasn't gotten bitter or astringent at all.
And it hasn't died off at all that much, really. I think that maybe the fourth, fifth steepings were, the fifth one is really excellent.
Right.
So, yeah, really good. And this would probably be good for if you want to just leave it in a pitcher of just cold water in your fridge overnight. You could probably get even more out of it for the next day too. And look
Absolutely.
At that color go. Yeah, yum. Yeah, great. Shout out to Oolong Owl.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And this sort of brewing is definitely not something you would want to do on some of the raw pourers we brought onto the show. This is us. This is Denny more specifically reacting to the brew and. Yeah.
And just in terms of the color, it's still maintaining, we're getting into those redder notes, but it's still maintaining a nice balance. Not too much. And, if you're brewing something that goes from light orange to deep red, you might have messed up.
Yeah.
It could be a warning sign that you're about to have a stomachache. So, but maybe not. I'll give this will be our last steeping here.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. We're on our 7th steeping, maybe even the 8th one. I can't really remember. Things are loosening up a little bit, but for a black tea, the amount of longevity that we've gotten out of this has been phenomenal. So, if you're thinking of cost, if you can get 75% extra out of a tea,
right.
What does that mean and translate in terms of your sessions?
Right.
And so these are things that you can ask yourself, and I think the quality and potentially the cost might be warranted here.
Right. Yeah, I've seen people do sort of cost comparisons off of the gram, but another way to do it is just off of how many cups you're getting from it. So I've seen people do those before too. So
really good. Losing a little bit of that velvetyness at this point, getting a little bit lighter there.
A little watery.
But still just delicious.
Yeah.
If folks want to check out this tea, James.
Yeah, go to W2T.com. Check out the Arbor Red. I think we both also recommend the Arbor White, so check those two out. They're sort of good companion teas.
Totally.
Sample them and check us out on TeaDB.org. Hit that subscribe button below and hit the thumbs up button as well. And we will see you all next time.